Hey guys, this is a sort of, not really, but it is a review of the Arlo Essential Spotlight security cameras. I've had these maybe 13 months and honestly I've had nothing but problems with them. I have the solar chargers hooked up and I constantly get charge the battery warnings. The video for the most part isn't bad during daytime, but at nighttime it's very blotchy, pixelated, and the pixels are actually quite large. They refresh so often that it looks like there's something in the dark moving around, but it's actually just the blocky pixels, which is quite annoying, and honestly it's pretty useless. If you're mounting them and zeroing in on something that's 5, maybe 10 feet away, it's not too bad. But if you have them at the corner of your house and you're looking down the length of your house, by the time you see to the end of your house, it's refreshing and updating, like I said, constantly. And it's just a moving image. Even though there's nothing there, you get the impression that there is. So with that said, this one I had, and it's out of warranty, of course. I like taking things apart and trying to fix what I can as opposed to rebuying them. I will not be rebuying the Arlo, any of them. So anyway, this camera I had mounted under the eave of the house, hooked to a solar charger, and I got the low battery, too low to operate, charge battery. So I took it down and I plugged it into the household charger, and while it's charging, you'll see in the front, when it's together, you'll see there's a flashing light. It'll flash blue, then red, and then when it's fully charged, it flashes blue for a little bit. Well, I could not get it fully charged. So I let it charge for almost a day on the charger cable that came with it, USB charger, and it forced me to add a new device in the app because it would no longer recognize this particular camera. Now I have 4 of them. 2 of them are working the way they did when I first got them, which is nothing to brag about. The 3rd one is giving me a battery warning error, and this 4th one is the one that I decided to dissect. I thought maybe it was something silly, I could open it up and fix it. Well, this is the guts. This one is not user-friendly as far as replacing batteries. It is a sealed unit. You cannot take it apart without a little bit of labor. It's not meant to be taken apart. So these are the 2 batteries, and I basically destroyed it getting it apart. But because it didn't work anyway, I thought, what have I got to lose? These are some of the screws that hold it together, and they are very small, especially these 2 black ones here that hold the charger and the button jack together. So you need a really small Phillips head to get that apart, and maybe with some tenacity and some patience you can get it apart, find the problem, and get it back together. Now this piece is the back, which goes back here, and it is apparently glued shut. It's got a rubber O-ring on it to keep it waterproof. And I used a hacksaw, and basically I just cut around the line that exists on the camera. Once I did that, I used a small flathead screwdriver to pry it apart. And once I got it apart, hopefully you can see that, that's rust. The inside of this has got quite a bit of rust in it. The lower part of the battery, because it's going to be the upper part of the battery, because the way it sits, you can see that that's all rusted. This portion of the circuit board is rusted. And like I said, this was under an eave. So it's not like it was out on a pole in the middle of a field or something. This was fairly well protected from the elements. It was just maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet under the eave. And it still succumbed to water intrusion. The charging jack, you can see there's rust around that. And it's kind of disheartening, but as I said, with a lousy nighttime video, even with the spotlight on, yeah, it's in color, but it's still blocky, and it's unacceptable. I mean, they're not super expensive, but they're not super cheap either. So, again, this is sort of not really a review, but sort of a review, probably more of a rant. And I will not be buying these again. Now, I'm going to tell you truthfully, I have a different system that I've had for over a year, well over a year actually. It's the Ring, and this is the outdoor. I forget the exact name of it. I don't even know if I can log on to it out here in my workshop because I don't have internet. But anyway, the Ring system does not have the spotlight, but it's a much better picture at night, and it's lasted without a problem. And man, do I very rarely even charge it. So I think what I'm going to do is replace all these Arlos with the Rings. And I'm going to look and see if they've got a new model, maybe with a spotlight on it. Yeah, I can't connect to it out here. And yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Rings. They're much easier to set up in the app, to add a device, as they call it, add a device. But yeah, just a quick rant and my opinion on the Arlo systems. You can even see the rust on the plastic on the back piece here, inside. There's some there. And when I initially cracked this open, you can actually, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's actually water in here. So much for being an outdoor camera. But anyway, guys, today is Thanksgiving 2021. I hope you're having a great day. Take care, and we'll talk soon.